Shabbat Shalom, and on behalf of Bet David Santon, Bet Menorah Pretoria, and Bet David Durban, welcome to our service this evening. We invite you to sponsor a virtual service in memory of a loved one, to celebrate a simcha, or just to show your support for Bet David and its congregants. During the service, the name of the sponsor will scroll at the bottom of the screen. Tonight's service is sponsored by the Gonen Schulman family to celebrate Idan's Bar-Mitzvah tomorrow morning. The Shabbat candles tonight will be lit by Melody Gonen, aunt of the Bar-Mitzvah. Do feel free to send comments and greetings in the live chat column. Shabbat Shalom.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik le'shal Shabbat. Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you, Melody. It is now my pleasure to invite Rabbi Elisheva all the way from San Francisco to join us for an opening remark.
Good Shabbos, everybody. And I am so excited about the Bar Mitzvah. He is such an extraordinary and wonderful young man. I hope you will all join us tomorrow morning to celebrate his coming of age as he reads from Torah and shares his wisdom with us. We gather together tonight in San Francisco on a momentous evening. This is the Shabbat that a group called Shalom Bayit chooses to be a Shabbat where all of its participating board speaks a tiny bit about their mission. And I've been on the board, the rabbinic board, for many, many years here. The word Shalom Bayit means peace in the home. And it is a group that is dedicated to assistance, support, and education around domestic violence. And I know that domestic violence is a tremendous complication in the lives of people in South Africa, that we're looking at potentially even a 50% rate, if I read the president's speech right. And I wanted to say that also, even though we don't speak about it in our community as an endemic problem, that the statistics worldwide are that 1 in 4 Jewish women will experience abuse from a partner in her lifetime. This is also the case, it happens to 1 in 4, 1 in 3 transgendered people, and a percentage that's rising of straight men as well. These are our neighbors. These are our teachers. These are our synagogue members, church members, members of mosques, people from all over. And at such a magnitude, we cannot say it's a family matter, and certainly not a women's issue. It's a societal and communal issue that requires a societal and communal response. So the question is, how can we respond? What we can do personally is, if you hear somebody start to tell a story, we can listen, you can believe them and support them. We can always ask, what do you need? How can I help? We can listen without judging, and we can trust that what they are saying is what they're experiencing in our lives. Now, of course, so often domestic violence is not something that is spoken about. And so we have to look and we have to ask and we have to support even if we are not told. And this is part of what it means to truly stand by our sisters and our brothers in their time of need. So I invite all of us this Shabbat to consider how we can be part of communal change, to support, but also to hold accountable those who mistreat others, to work to stop gender-based violence from happening in the first place. One of the things that Shalom Bayit does is it has a wonderful program that goes and talks to teens. It's called Love Shouldn't Hurt. And I'm hoping that we as a community can help to institute seminars like this so that we can educate young people across the board in understanding that safety is something that is important in the home, that we should live in shalom and peace, especially at this time. So let us all be the ones who make it possible that people needn't wander or remain in places of desolation and despair, but that they know that we, as Beit David and as friends and allies, offer support and love and hope that there will be change and that we are working towards it. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi, for those sobering remarks. Please turn now to page 130. L'chuna ranana ladana naria l'tzur yishenu l'kadama panav betoda bizmirot naria lo ke'el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher biyado mechkarei aretz v'to'afot harim lo asher lo hayam v'hu asahu v'yabeshet yadav yatzaru bo'u nishtachave v'nichra'a nivracha lifnei Adonai Oseinu ki hu Eloheinu v'anachnu am marito v'tzon yado hayom im b'kolo tishma'u. And from that psalm we proceed please to page 135. This is a rather serious psalm. Let's look at it in English. God, enthroned on cherubim, is sovereign. People tremble. The earth quakes. God is great in Zion and exalted above all peoples. They praise your name as great and awesome. God is holy. Mighty ruler who loves justice, it was you who established equity. You who worked righteous judgment in Jacob. Exalt the eternal our God and bow down to God's footstool, for God is holy. Exalt the eternal our God and bow towards God's holy hill, for the eternal our God is holy.
Adonai
the last two lines are of course well known to us. May God grant strength to our people. May God grant our people peace. Adonai oz le'amo yiten. Adonai varech et amo b'shalom. And from there we proceed to the very next page for the Chadodi.
Tikrat tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Shalom v'zachor b'dibur echad, b'shmi'anu el miuchat, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Shema tiferes v'litila la 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 lecha dodi, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Tikrat Shabbat, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, מעשה במחשבת הילה, לה 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 לך דודי, tikrat kala, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, tikrat kala, פני פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עם מלוכה, ומצבעים מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יקבול נרעי, לה 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 לך דודי, tikrat kala, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, tikrat kala, פני פני שבת נקבלה. בואים לשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצורה, תוכלי על סגולה, בואי חלה, לך דודי, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 lecha dodi, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, tikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La la.
On the next page, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat.
Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, להגיד בבוקר חתמה, באמונת בלילות, עלי עזוב, עלי נובר, עלי גיון
כי שימחתני אדוני בפועליך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך, איש בעל לא ידע. The righteous bloom like a date palm, they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the Eternal One's house, they flourish in our God's courts. In old age they still produce fruit, they are full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. We turn now to page 144, and you can join me if you so feel inclined in the Chatzi Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמיה במבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דא מהירן בעולמה ואמרו אמן.
We turn now to page 148. Read the blessing for the bringing on of evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים בממשלותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. You create day and night. You bring on the light and you roll over it, the darkness. And you cause the day to move in the face of the night and the night to move in the face of the day. You make a difference between the day and the night. O Lord of hosts, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'ma'aviv Ha'ravim. And so now we enter into the love sandwich. We're going to recite Ahavat Olam, the great love that the divine has for the world. And the choir is going to lead us beautifully in the Shema, which is on 152 when we get there. And then we will recite together the Ve'ahavta, our reciprocal love for the divine. And so as we get ready for this, I invite you to find somebody near you who you love, or think of somebody who you love, and include them in the warmth of this blessing. Page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochveinu uvkumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nishma b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. For they are life and lengthen our days. Never remove your love from us. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha v'veitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshatam le'ot ayadecha, v'yuletot afot ben einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני Elohim Amen. You know, those words at the end are from the commandment to make tzitzit, to place fringes on the corners of our garments, to remember the presence of the divine in our lives. And those come from our parsha this week, where there was a little complication at the beginning. People didn't quite trust either God or themselves. And so at the end, we were given this opportunity to have a physical reminder that we are in the presence of the divine at all moments, and that it is our task to work together to create a world that is indeed filled with that love that we have just spoken of. Let us continue on page 158 with the Song of Redemption.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, of earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the grandchildren and generations to come, the song of our land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. V'ne'emar כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגדלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 160. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Elecha. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Shalom. Grant us that we lie down in peace, that we rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, your Sukkot Shalom. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, our God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, our God, are gracious and merciful. Grant our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. ושמור צאצאנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם מרית עולם. לי ולבני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. אדוני שפת תפתחו פי תהילתך. אדוני שפת תפתחו פי תהילתך.
Going to be here so I can see you. I would ordinarily be at the bima. As we enter into our evening meditation, I'm going to invite you to go a little deeper with me with the blessings. We'll just work on the first two and then we'll have some time for silent prayer. The first blessing is on page Avot on page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu. Blessed are you, who is the God of our ancestors, our mothers and our fathers. This is the time that we connect. We connect the holy teachings that we have learned from them, from those who have taught us of generations before, be they related to us by blood or related to us through love. May the honor of what they brought us and the lessons that they learned continue to move through our hands as we join together in remembering that your work comes in many forms and through many voices. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav leHoshia. Your power and might is found in everything, in the slightest, smallest insect that walks across our floor, in the great majesty of the sunsets and the sunrises, in the beauty of the eyes of a child who is laughing, and in the hope found in the eyes of a child who is waiting to laugh. Your honor and your power work through our hands. May we lift them up in your service at all times. May we be given the strength that you have given to others so that we may continue to do your holy work. And may we pray that we know constantly before whom we stand, that we extend ourselves ever farther into the possibility of who we can really become. V'ne'eman atah l'chayot kol chai, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh, Shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. May we recognize always the possibility of holiness. May we be given moments where the candle flame is not, in fact, only a candle flame, but is the spark that brings us joy and honor and hope and life. May we understand the sacred in the beauty of nature. May we work together for the well-being of the world. May we always recognize that each person contains your holy spark, and may we reflect your divine light back up to you. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You have sanctified this day, this Shabbat, and have given us the opportunity to be in Imitatio Dei, to continue the holy work, not just of creating the world, but also of stopping and of looking and of meditating upon what we have done. The opportunity not to keep ourselves busy, but rather to look deeply into what we are able to do in the future, to regroup, to relax, to rest, to give ourselves a spiritual massage. You have chosen this day of all days, this day of rest, this day of holiness, to create for us the tiniest bit of the peace that we know we will experience when all of our work has been done. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Let's continue silently. Modim anachnu Tov ki l'chalu rachamecha ve'hamrachem ki l'tamu chasadecha me'olam me'olam yivinu lach me'olam me'olam Kivinu lach. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, lecha na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav is on page 178. Take a moment to think of those who we love, to imagine those we have yet to meet who we will love. to bring peace and safety and hope to all who are living in fear, to extend ourselves spiritually throughout the world, that we may take up so much space in our joy and our love on this Shabbat, that intent in and of itself will change and bring peace for all. Page 180.
Elohai netzor לשנים מרע ושפתיים מדבר ממה ונקל אליי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי אלוהי נצור לשנים מרע ושפתיים מדבר ממה ונקל אליי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי נצור לשנים מרע ושפתיים מדבר נימה ונקל אליי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי אלוהי נצור לשונים מרע ושפתיים מדבר נימה ונקל אליי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei imotenu ve'avotenu, God of our ancestresses and our ancestors. Elohei Bilcha, Elohei Zilcha, Elohei Sleha, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Sarah. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Velohei Yaakov, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ve'hanora, El Elyon, Konei Shamayim Va'aretz. Let us affirm our covenant as God's people. Let us honor those and be among those who study Torah. Let us uphold the truth of ongoing possibility and revelation. Let us celebrate the glory of our tradition and draw refreshment from the well springs of our prayer. Let us respect tradition and encourage creative faith. And let us dress ourselves in the garments of God, the tzitzit, our fringes, the white, clean linen, metaphorical or actual for Shabbat, the beauty of the opportunity to share our talit, our prayer shawl, with a child, with a loved one, and the opportunity to see in the way we present ourselves that we all share in that glory. And then let us spread out the canopy of peace of our talitot throughout the whole world. I think, Reb David, you have some words of wisdom for us.
I just wish to announce that our overhead lights have faded on us. We've got side lights but not overhead lights, and our technical staff are working on it very much, but for the moment we don't have overhead lights. It's time for the sermon, and I will use the Shabbat candle illumination. Isn't it appropriate that we should be rescued by our holy candles? Right. Our community in Johannesburg, and indeed elsewhere, in all other places where Jews are present, are subject to pressures emanating from the culture of the society within which we live. Firstly, we've grown up involved in such other society, seeing their activities and noticing their likes and dislikes at close quarters. Humans are apt to slip into complacency and follow the line of least resistance, so that we do what the majority around us does. Not necessarily the majority, but enough to make an impact on us. An example would be Shabbat observance. Maybe we could be tempted to go out on a Friday night to a restaurant for dinner, or to watch a soccer match, or to a show. I know one couple who sometimes go straight from shul to a restaurant for supper. Candles, kiddush, hamotzi. No, not so serious for them. They do not have children, so thankfully this practice, or lack of practice, is not foisted on impressionable young people. A further common practice by our people in our community is ordering prawns or calamari when out for dinner. In my view, there's enough else to eat without having to break this essential rule. One wonders whether the younger and growing up generation can withstand these attractions and more, which are tantalizing them on a daily basis. They are subject to influences which their parents may not have been subject to as youngsters. Here, for example, one finds tattoos. These are expressly forbidden in Leviticus. Why, you may ask? Because the pagan nations indulged in tattoos as an attraction, or to frighten off combatants, or to ward off evil spirits. Our rabbis wanted to keep our folk from indulging in pagan practices and associating intimately with persons whose lifestyle was not acceptable. That is the reason why they forbade tattoos. Nightclubs today are very popular on Friday evenings, when often the weekend supply of dacha and stronger drugs is also acquired. So, what do we do about this? Regarding our own conduct, we have to make choices. We have to be true to our faith and toe the line of our traditional Jewish values. We make these choices for ourselves. Regarding the more removed practices of our offspring, we have to remember that the religious practice starts at home. We have to explain to our children, even when they are young adults, the necessity to follow our traditional way of life. We have no choice, as we have been chosen to be Or Goyim, a light unto the nations. Pity we're not a light unto ourselves tonight, but we're Or Goyim, a light unto the nations. An American rabbi named David Rosen stated on our television that we need to reconnect with the authentic, moral, ethical message of our traditions. These were his words. Moral impulse is rooted in the religious world. Secular society is the beneficiary of this. That means that our social life, our secular life, is underpinned by a practice of our ancient traditions. So our religious beliefs should be acting as a bridge to guide us in the practice of our day-to-day lives, our own and the lives of our families. May it be so. Shabbat Shalom. We now proceed with the Kiddush, and I have pleasure in inviting the Gonans, father and son, to recite Kiddush for us on the occasion of his Bar-Mitzvah tomorrow.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו בשבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'ratza ba'anu, v'shabbat kodesho, b'ahavta uvratzon hinchilanu, zarich haron, lamaseh vereshit, ki hu yom techila, למכרה הקודש, זכר לזיעת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קדשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מחדש השבת.
Okay? Thank you and good luck for tomorrow's Simcha.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המוני. מרומי, ואלוהינו לילות, אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום לשבותה, לבניך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים עמך, ועל הארץ מתחתינו.
At this moment, we think of our loved ones whose death has recently taken, whom death has recently taken from us. We think of those who passed away in years gone by, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for blessing. Tonight we commemorate the Yortzeit of the following persons: Joan Collins, aunt of Ashley Sweek; Barney Sweek, father of Desmond Sweek; Michael Bonan, husband of Arlene Bonan; Ruth Bergman, mother of Leslie Bergman. I just want to pause here. Leslie and I grew up together in Port Elizabeth, and I remember his mother very, very well, and his father, and they were both so involved with the shul. That's obviously where Leslie inherited this from. David and Johanna Levy, grandparents of Derek Cohen; Lorna Lewis Belling, mother of Sandra Bruns; Leslie Reichman, father of Michelle Clippen; Harold Hassel, husband of Marion Hassel; Morris Frank, father-in-law of Lucy Frank and grandfather of Haley and Tracy Frank; Joseph Seif, father of Carol Kramer; Wolf Hirschfeld, father of Carla Feldman; Garth Sweltz, husband of Hareen Sweltz and father of Cody Lee Sweltz; Terry Benjes, brother of Gail Asaiski; Ian Arcus, father of Shira Arcus; Danny Kruger, mother of Jack Kaplan; and from Bet Menorah, Pretoria, Alec Karp, father-in-law of Merle Karp; Nathan Kaplis, father of Mark Kaplis; and from Bet David in Durban, Rosa Lonstein, Sylvia Hoffman, Ina Gresak, mother of Robert Gresak and Gillian Gresak; Ruben Kasher, father of Dennis Kasher; Vianeto Valero, husband of Dina Valero; Michelle Sentner; Renato Palmi, husband of Judith King; Millie Nathan, mother of Brian Nathan; John Erasmus, father of Loretta Brody; Leonard Sharp, father of Sue Isaacson. And at this moment we recall the following who passed away in recent weeks: Bruce Jolson, husband of Danny, father of Dorian, Carliette and Angelique; the brother of Harold and the uncle of Wayne and Mark Jolson. We remember Craig Allenby, son of Sylvia Allenby, nephew of Myreline McIntyre and brother of Sylvia de Kock. Mildred Goodman, remembered by Stephen and Helen Kaplan. And I ask you to join me in reciting the Kaddish for all these people, and to spare a moment of thought for people who've recently passed away in the conflagration in the Middle East, with the prayer that the peace which has been signed will hold. Page 598 together. Yitgadal v'yitgadal k'yitgadash shemei Rabbah v'yomad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomeichon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman k'ari v'meru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'orach li'olam u'lo me'ol maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalav shmei dekudisha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran b'yoma v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shlema rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imamav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen.
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichron v'avracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, b'almad yivrach yirutei v'yamich malchutei, b'chayechondu v'meichondu, b'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'galal zman k'ariv v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'le'ol maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitruman v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'elach min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachat v'nechemata damiram b'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imomav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen.
Right. Leslie, I wish you long life. Sorry that I jumped in and started the Kaddish without you. But I see you haven't forgotten it. All these years that I've known you, you've done everything so remarkably well. Now, we've come to the end of our service, and I'd like to make the hamotzi for us. Rabbi will make a closing bracha all the way from San Francisco. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Rabbi.
So the beginning of this blessing actually goes to Idan and to all of his family. I know we're going to be gathered tomorrow, but I want the congregation to just, wherever you happen to be, and nearby or far away, to send him blessing as he enters into Jewish adulthood. It's a very, very exciting and beautiful time to watch a young man as he grows. I also want to remind you that next week, starting with our morning service, we are going to be doing just a 45-minute Torah study beforehand. Please join me. There will be a Zoom link that will get sent out shortly to the entire congregation. And I really look forward to studying deep and exciting Torah with you. And then I wish to bless the world. You know, David, thank you so much for mentioning the ceasefire and the hope of peace. May it so be, God, that you bless all of us and keep us, all of humanity, in your hands. May you open those hands and allow us to look upon the beauty of what you have created, the shining of your face that is reflected in this glorious world. May you lift up your face to each one of us, wherever we may be, and bring us hope and bring us to joy and share with us your magnificent creation. Blessings to all of us on this holy Shabbat.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your participation and for your wonderful words to us. Thank you to Doron and to Adam for so ably facilitating the streaming of the service, and to the congregants who contributed videos to the service. Thanks also to the Gronin Schulman family for sponsoring the service. And thank you to you, our congregation, for your patience in living with us for this last difficult half an hour when we haven't had lights. We've struggled along, but we've managed. Please join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our Shachrit service led by Ian Mann, when Idan will be called to the Torah as Bar-Mitzvah. The service will be streamed live on YouTube using the usual link. Bet David Kahila, that's the sisterhood, would like to thank the generous congregants who have made donations to their sandwich appeal. The Bet David congregation has once again shown its commitment to making a difference in the world. Let us continue to support the work of Kahila and help feed the growing number of hungry children in Alexandria. We appeal to all congregants of Bet David to help perform this mitzvah of Tikkun Olam by dropping off donations of fruit juice, concentrates, peanut butter and jam with the security guard at the entrance to Bet David. Monetary donations to this Bet David sisterhood will be very welcome. Mother Teresa once said, if you cannot feed 100 people, feed one. Isn't that a profound thought? We conclude the service with the singing of Ein Eloheinu on page 626, and I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
Ein Eloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mich Eloheinu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Kemalkeinu, Mich Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atah Eloheinu, Atah Adonenu, Atah Malkeinu, Atah Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Umvorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Umvorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat.